Alright, Nathan and I have just found hellbender salamander. Wow. And we're both kind of freaking out inside right now.
That is awesome. Just for a size comparison, there's my hand. So the salamander is like about 1.5 feet. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Let me see.
Eastern hellbender, North Carolina. Where in North Carolina? Not gonna say.
We just found number 3 hellbender. This one you can see a whole lot better than the other one since it's right smack dab in the sun and the water is calm on the top.
This one.
Bless you.
Yeah, the other two were in more quickly flowing areas. This one must be a fan of Sheryl Crow.
What?
Alright, I'll stop now. Third hellbender, folks. You see some of those darters swimming around them. This one's a little smaller than the first two. The second one we didn't get any video of. He was kind of a tawny colored, but he disappeared on us. I looked at him with the goggles underwater, and then I looked back up at Bethany to say, yep, it's a hellbender, and then he was gone.
Right. Yeah, we don't know how it went away so quickly, because this one and then the first one are moving slowly. Then the other one just like freaked out. There's a whole bunch of darters right there. Woohoo!
I'm going to get some video too. Oh, he's moving.
Yeah. Wow. Look. Keep it together, keep it together.
Wow.
Here's something Nathan just flipped. A red eft of a newt. Aw. Think we can go fishing with it?
I think we could, but I don't think we will. If only the government would have that attitude toward things sometimes. I think we do have this power. I don't think we're going to use it. Anyway, that's beside the point.
Thoughts from Nathan over here.
This is a red eft, and we're in North Carolina. It's really beautiful. I shouldn't be muddling up a YouTube video
with government comments. Ugh.
Musings. So these guys, I know most of the people who watch our channels are pretty veteran herpers, but for those of you who aren't, who are just, you know, more casual, this is the terrestrial phase of the eastern red-spotted newt. So later in its life cycle, it's going to become sort of an olivish green. It's going to retain those red spots, and then it's going to get smooth skin. Right now it has like toad-ish feeling skin, and then it'll go into the water. So presumably its home is that creek over there, about 50 yards, and that's where it's going to go when it enters the aquatic phase.
Yep. Here's a seal salamander, seal dusky salamander, and these are pretty easy to tell from different duskies because they're lighter colored and their reticulated pattern has a lot more contrast when compared to the other duskies. There's a ringneck snake that Nathan just found.
Yep. Hello.
Find a little friend?
Yeah, ringneck snake.
Alright, here is what appears to be a seal salamander larvae. And this is the first seal salamander larvae I've seen. And it was like completely different from any other dusky larvae I've seen. Hold your hand still, please. Thank you. Because it's a lot lighter in color. A lot lighter in color. Usually any dusky this size at that age is going to be a lot darker. This is the lightest one I've ever seen.
And you can sort of see the start of that black modeling pattern too on his back. If you look really close.
Yep.
This is a Cumberland green salamander. Subspecies common name is still up in the air a little bit. It's a close cousin of the Appalachian green salamander in Alabama, Kentucky, and further west. This guy just lives in North and South Carolina, here kind of along the border of the two states. In a couple of counties, we found him on a rock face here. Surprisingly dry night to find a green salamander out, but we still found one nonetheless. We're on the hunt also for the Blue Ridge Gray Cheek Salamander, a specialty of North Carolina's eastern Blue Ridge, Plethodon amplus. But this guy, one heck of a surprise find for us.
Yeah.
So
we didn't even know this existed until about 2 hours ago.
Yeah. So.
Well, we didn't know the subspecies existed.
Yeah.
That's good.
Here's another Cumberland green salamander. This one a full adult, found on that same rock ledge in North Carolina. Beautiful green salamander. A Nighties genus.
Can you get the light?
Closer.
It's still kind of in the shadows.
Beautiful.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, Blue Ridge Gray Cheek Salamander, the one we just told you we were looking for. It's really unique. Only lives in a couple counties here in North Carolina. Rutherford, Henderson. I think it might live in one other one, but anyway, not going to tell you which one we're in. This is the same outcrop where we found the 3 green salamanders. We also happened upon a white-spotted slimy that kind of went back into the rock on us. It was a big old one, but not shedding too many tears over losing a slimy. And then we happened upon this guy who was just sort of out on the outcrop. He wasn't in a crack. He was crawling around.
So we found our 2 top goal species for this trip, the hellbender and the
Blue Ridge Gray
Blue Ridge
Cheek.
Gray Cheek. What are our other targets?
Shaoa-bald, Teleco, and Juneluska are the only
Okay.
3 others. And the green was one we didn't even think we'd have.
Right. Go ahead.
So this is a Cave Yonahlossees salamander. You may think I'm a lion because it looks a lot like a slimy.
There's a red spot right on its
Yeah.
back. Woo, careful.
Yeah. There are just 2 or 3 little chestnut-colored blotches right on this side
And
of his
it's massive.
torso.
That's like way bigger than... I mean, the head shape, too, is different from
And the head
slimy.
shape is different. So these guys are known for looking just like slimies, but with a couple of red spots. So this is what you get. This is what a Cave Yonahlossees looks like. Not as cool as its cousins up in Linville or in Southwest Virginia, but it's still technically in the Yonahlossees family.
And I thought this place was going to be a dump, but we've already found our 3 top species for this location. So
yeah, well, we found all 3 that we wanted to find in this part of North Carolina, and we were joking that because we had a different trail to go down that was like, you know, a half a mile and had a big rock outcrop, and then this is just at the side of the road. There's some trash in the ditch.
Dip, dip.
There's some trash in the ditch, so it smells kind of weird. So we nicknamed it the dump and said it was our last resort.
Yeah, and then I was like, no, we're not going to find anything here. We need to go somewhere else. But
and
so
I
Nathan's
said
been teasing me
that we were going to find everything at El Dumpo. That's what we've nicknamed it, is El Dumpo. And I made a joke when we didn't find anything at that really big spot that we would find all 3, Cave Yonahlossees, green, and Blue Ridge Gray Cheek at El Dumpo.
And here we go. This was not but like 30 seconds after we found the gray cheek.
And in like 20 minutes, we found all 3 at El Dumpo. So I just have to say, El Dumpo! Es bien, no? You gotta love El Dumpo, man. This is like my new favorite rock outcrop in the world.
Appropriate for North Carolina. There's this adorable dog over there. Oh my goodness. That is so cute. It ducks down every time I come closer to it. Here's a eastern newt that we just found in this laguna.
That's kind of weird habitat. It's a pond way up in the mountains. But
Do you think it's spring fed? Because the water is really clear.
yeah, I'd say so. She said there was a trickle that feeds it, and then that stream over there drains it. So, want to try to catch them?
I can watch you try to catch it. No, just kidding.
That would be more entertaining, wouldn't it?
I picture there being like all sorts of mud down there. Oh, but there are rocks. Here, I'll try to get it.
This is how you catch a newt. Maybe. Maybe not.
No, it's right there.
I know he's right there. But when I put my hands down there, it makes big ripples and I can't see very clearly. Also, I need one hand to stay braced.
Get it, get it, get it! Get it!
There he goes.
Get it!
Holy
You're
smokes.
losing it.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to go in there and get it. That's how not to catch a newt. That's how not to catch a newt.
Here's a tadpole of some sort. We think it's a green frog. Because right when Nathan said, oh, maybe a bullfrog or something, a green frog over in the distance went derp, derp.
It was saying, no, it's my kid.
No, it's my kid. There's another newt over there. We found like 7 newts.
8.
And I was poking around here trying to catch one of them, and then I felt like a snake or something, and it freaked me out. Jumped out of the water. And Nathan got a good show. That was so cool. That looks fun. There's another third one down there. This place is lots of them. Are they already past their breeding season?
I think
Late
so.
May?
I'm not sure they have a completely defined breeding season.
Ooh, I bet I could snag it now.
That's good.
There's a hunting. Oh, we caught one!
Got a fish.
Yeah, come here, Nathan. Wow!
Holy smokes, that's cool.
Nathan, come here. You want to see it?
Yeah, I do see it. A little closer, I don't want to see it.
Wow! Nathan and I were literally just walking up. Oh, wow, that's amazing.
There you
He's
go.
carrying it up into the grass.
Western North Carolina, near what they call the Tail of the Dragon, U.S. Highway 129. We're outside Robbinsville, so we've been doing a little bit of herping around here, nothing too spectacular yet, but we're quite near the Cherokee Indian Reservation, about 30 miles away from us, and it's a big reservation, the Eastern Band of Cherokee here in North Carolina. They're one of their historic homelands, of course, along with Eastern Tennessee and North Georgia. And you just saw the campaign election billboard for Richard Sneed, who's running for principal chief of the Eastern Tribe of the Cherokee. The federal government, obviously has to enforce some laws on Indian reservations, but it's kind of hands-off. Indian reservations, they're called nations. They operate that way. They elect their own governments. They're allowed a lot of leeway in what kind of government they want. So apparently the Cherokee in North Carolina have elected, no pun intended, to have periodic elections for chief and also vice chief, as we saw a billboard for vice chief earlier. So I have a few questions about this. This is the only candidate we've seen multiple signs for. Is he running unopposed? Do candidates for chief actively campaign? Do they take campaign contributions like regular politicians? Do they have debates? What are the issues? And then once elected, what powers does the principal chief of the tribe have? I'm genuinely curious about all this stuff. It's fascinating to me that there would be like an election within just a little, 10, 20,000 person community here in
We'll have to ask the
Western North
waitress.
Carolina. Yeah, we'll have to ask somebody. I'm kind of interested by this. Anyway. Alright, this is, well, we don't know, folks. We don't know what this is. We found it on a mountain here at middle elevation in extreme eastern Tennessee. This could either be a southern Appalachian salamander, Plethodon tealhi, or it might be a teleco salamander, the one we're after, Plethodon areolus. The way you normally tell is the spots on the back of the teleco are more like brassy, and it has more white spots on the side than its back. But this one doesn't look like it's surefire. It doesn't look like a surefire southern Appalachian either. I've seen those before, and their spots are usually bigger and a little more clearly like a white or creamy color. These look a little brassy to me if you get up close, but we're not certain. So maybe a lifer, maybe not. The most torturous situation to be in if you're a herper. The zone of uncertainty. Am I live?
Yes.
Okay. So we're here at this really beautiful stream in East Tennessee where I was told you can sometimes find Yonahlossees by flipping along the banks, which we've been unsuccessful at. And, you know, there are some other species here we want to see. We're just relaxing right now. And so we're hoping for a rain because it's even easier to cruise them if it rains. And Tennessee's been in a little bit of a slump as far as rain is concerned. And so there was a wave of clouds that passed earlier, and now we have some more dark clouds coming over. And
the question is,
are the clouds dark enough? Crazy, weird sentences that would sound really strange to hear out of context if you're not a herper. So the whole "are the clouds dark enough?" the question is thing comes from when Bethany and I were in Linville, while we were still boyfriend-girlfriend 2 years ago. We wanted to go see Yonahlossees, and we were hoping we could road cruise them, and there was an afternoon rain. And
we were saying, like, what all the conditions that were right. We're like, the question is, are the roads
wet enough? And I think we were stopped like at a barbecue stand or a gas station or something like that, and we said, you know, if anyone hears that sentence, they're gonna think we're psychotic. Like, who says that? Are the roads wet enough? Wet enough for what? It's like the kind of sentence that just seeps into your mind and gives you an aneurysm because you can't figure out what the heck they were talking about, and your brain's just like working on it subconsciously for weeks and weeks. Another one like that is when we were in northern Michigan, and we didn't know there was anyone around, and so I hugged Bethany as we were finishing up at the spot, and then I said, all right, now let's go cruise that hognose, darn thing. And I turn around, and there's like a 55-year-old birder in this birding hat going by. Like, again, we probably killed him. He probably had an aneurysm later that week trying to figure out what that sentence meant. Anyway, so the question is, are the clouds dark enough?
Here's the little neonate copperhead that we found while out shining on rocks. It's about like 9:30 right now.
Yep.
So he's just perched up on that little piece of stick right there, waiting for some prey to walk by. Alright, let's leave him alone.
This, folks, is a shovelnose salamander. Bethany's wrangling it. We just flipped them in a beautiful mountain brook here in Virginia. Desmognathus marmorotus. For a long time they were considered their own genus, and they are by far
the hardest dusky we've ever had.
Yes, and they're we tried for these guys for about a day and a half in North Carolina and didn't find any.
How many streams?
At least four or five.
But this is our new method of catching them, though.
Yeah.
So what we were doing, we were flipping huge rocks in the water, and then we would hold this net downstream so that once the water, you know, washed the stuff away from under the rock, we would catch it.
Yep. Because shovelnose do not live at the margins of streams like other salamanders, well, other dusky salamanders. They live completely underwater. The rock we flipped this guy under was like 7 inches deep.
Yeah, it was like in the middle of the stream.
In the middle.
And then Nathan read, you know, this method online where, you know, you hold the net downstream and then you flip the rock and then it will rush into the net because the water will pull it in. So, and then you also read that crayfish and like stoneflies would be the bycatch.
Yeah, because
And
they
that's
need
what I was
really clear
catching.
streams.
That's what I was catching before we caught this.
Yep.
And it's like super, it's not flying out of your hands like other duskies do.
Yeah, black belly folks, this guy would be so gone. But shovelnose, another way to identify him beside, I'm going to get a closer video of him here in a minute. He's got some beautiful brassy patterns, and of course that head is, well, it's a shovelnose. It's got like a flattened head. And another way to tell them is when you flip them, they either just get washed down with the current, or they kind of walk slowly along the bottom, or they just sit still.
Cool.
They don't fly away like all the other duskies.
And their eyes are more, I don't know, they seem like they're more angled inward towards their snout instead of just like being parallel to their head. They're angled more forward.
Here, let me get closer to him. And can you see the back end of his body a little more? Like bring it up. There you go. Here's a shovelnose.
So this is life number 4
For Bethany.
for me.
I had seen this one previous, but honestly I've never gotten a really solid picture or video. Because I saw this one way back in 2010 is the last shovelnose I saw, 9 years ago. So, a welcome find here in Southwest Virginia.
I've been wanting to see one of these for a long time. Here's our shovelnose dusky going back into the stream.
Want me to coax it?
Sure. I just want to get a shot of its eyes since they're so cool. Okay.
Yeah, he's headed back to the middle of the stream.
So do those eat crayfish? Do they eat crayfish?
I'm not sure.
Or do they mostly just eat stoneflies
They
and stuff?
mostly eat aquatic insect larvae, yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Is it still moving?
No, stand still.